What is going on, guys? Mobile Carrier News here. And T-Mobile is announcing that they're going to be investing $25 million into basically push their network for rural areas as to like small town areas. And this is basically the plan that all carriers are doing. They want to deal with rural America. They want to deal with the areas, the coverages that basically don't do well. Like let's say like you're in like in a small town or like you're driving through a like a very hill road, or just like places that don't look like they actually get service, and that's what they're doing. We do know T-Mobile's investing 100% of 10 to 12 billion dollars, but here they're going to be using $25 million in small town grants. Now, I like where T-Mobile's going with this. They're going to be improving small town areas, but I still think they need to innovate because of the whole situations, all the problems they've been having for this year alone. T-Mobile's been having a lot of issues, and I'm not sure if T-Mobile's trying to basically get customers to stay because they're going to improve small areas, or T-Mobile is just trying to get their work done with 5G. Now, we know 5G is far from perfect. It's nothing's really booming in 2021, to be honest. By 2022, we should see an improvement with all carriers, but right now T-Mobile is focused on small town areas, which I think is really good. I'm not sure if T-Mobile is the only company that actually is pushing a lot of money to it. $25 million is a lot, but we do know Verizon and AT&T are also pushing even more money than this. But I don't think that's a problem for T-Mobile because if you all remember, T-Mobile doesn't really they're not really into competing this year, which I don't think it's a bad thing. T-Mobile's doing their own thing. Their network has definitely improved from how it was years ago. Obviously, in 2013 to 2016, I never had T-Mobile, so I can never really give an opinion on T-Mobile's network because back then I didn't own T-Mobile. I had AT&T the whole entire time. For about 8 to 9 years, I've had AT&T. I never switched to a carrier. But I do like to see where T-Mobile is going with this. Hopefully, they keep improving the network. I'm pretty sure they will, but they need to be more. They need to be more. Um, like they need to do more work, more innovate. They need to actually add more small cells and add more coverage to the sites because I've noticed T-Mobile is lacking heavy. The only time I've seen T-Mobile actually improve their service is when I used to have them. I had them I believe 7 months ago, so almost a year. I've had them for almost a year before I switched to Verizon, and it took about 7 months to actually see an improvement in my area, especially the beach area. And I was like not upset. I understand that these networks take time. 5G is new. It's like very innovated. It's not the same as 4G LTE. 4G LTE is I wouldn't say LTE is perfect. I would say LTE is far from perfect. Still needs to be improved because I don't think they are focusing on that. They're focusing on 5G as we know, but I do believe T-Mobile should be working at a faster pace. Not because they're not competing with the other carriers. I just think T-Mobile needs to actually get their head in the game and actually improve things faster. We do know we all know they're budgeting from 10 to 12 billion dollars, which is, it's less than the other carriers, but I still think it's a good amount of money. I just really think they should be, improving the sites, the cell sites, the low band, the mid band spectrum, and especially with T-Mobile's like unlimited plan. Ever since I made a video that they came out with new unlimited data plans, I do think they should start taking the network expansion more seriously because since they actually made the usage of unlimited data unlimited, they should be working at a fast. This is just my own personal opinion. I do think T-Mobile needs to work at a little faster pace, not because of competition, but because of customer demand. Even though T-Mobile's had that slippery slope with the whole lawsuits and the data breach, for people that still want to stay for T-Mobile, I don't know if it's T-Mobile. I don't know if it's T-Mobile fanboys or T-Mobile or people who've been with T-Mobile for years. But I do believe, T-Mobile does need to actually expand their service a little faster than normal because the fact that T-Mobile took 7 months to actually improve the service in my area, this is before I left them, by the way. The fact that it took 7 months and they now have a new unlimited data plan, I don't think it should be. I don't. This is just my opinion. I know I don't have T-Mobile anymore. I switched to Verizon. But I think Verizon needs to start expanding their coverage and network and service, pretty much the whole thing, at a little faster scale. Because, with more demand, with more people going on to, T-Mobile, or people who are staying with T-Mobile for a long time, there's like 50% of people who don't care. It's cheaper. They know they can afford it. It's what, $85 a month, and they're okay with it. They don't mind with the service. They like how the service is. It's fast. It's pretty reliable, depending on the area, of course, but it's just pretty good. T-Mobile Act has improved their LTE, like it's like 100%. They've expanded their LTE, and as long as T-Mobile customers have LTE and it works, I don't think they mind, to be honest. And we know the Sprint merger is going to take a long time to actually combined and actually improved with their coverage. I'm going to say like maybe 5 or 10 years that'll be 100%. Yes, they merge, but it doesn't mean all towers from Sprint have been converted. It's still going to take some time, because not only is T-Mobile focusing on 5G, T-Mobile is also focusing on converting Sprint's towers coverage and cell sites to T-Mobile service. So that's going to take some time. So they're actually, I think T-Mobile is doing a double. I believe T-Mobile is doing a double workload with this. So I do believe they need to have a good balance with doing both, for both 5G and also focusing on Sprint's merging, or merger, as people like to call it. And like I said, there's other 50% of customers that actually do want to have T-Mobile's expanded coverage. Like I said, it's a 50% care, 50% don't. They actually want their service to be improved. I really don't think, like, let's say you're with Verizon for 9 months and you don't see a major improvement, but then after 9 months you finally see coverage and it took 9 months. I'm not sure if customers, or people who live in a certain state or city or town, are going to be upset, because what I've noticed too is on T-Mobile's 5G, like in my areas, before 7 months came around that the service actually improved. I noticed that there was some congestion, and I was on the new unlimited data plan, and I was getting congested everywhere. So that's what I believe T-Mobile faces. They face 5G congestion because the service is not that well optimized. Even on LTE, I've noticed there's some congestion, which is kind of shocker, because I was doing speed tests on LTE for T-Mobile, but they were in areas where like people were at home and were using Wi-Fi. So I'm not sure if my area is very congested with T-Mobile, or T-Mobile doesn't have their connections optimized to handle just 1% of usage. I believe T-Mobile does have a lot of work to do. Don't get me wrong. By 2025 and 2026, they'll be good to go. They'll be able to actually catch up with the carriers. I don't know who's going to be number one or the last, but also, T-Mobile will be pretty good. Until what T-Mobile also has to figure out is see if they can actually beat Dish, because Dish has not gone public for their 5G. It's still going to take a while. They're delaying it heavily, and I'm not gonna lie, I think as long as Dish is not publicly 5G wireless ready, I don't think T-Mobile is going to worry. I mean, when Dish actually goes public on their wireless 5G, T-Mobile is going to be like, okay, so now we have this other competition. So I'm going to see how T-Mobile will do this. I think T-Mobile will do a good job with all this, with their 2.5 gigahertz of spectrum, with their mid-band, low-band, and all of Sprint's merger. I honestly think they'll be all right. I don't think they're going to have a problem. Let's just hope they don't have another data breach, because if they do, that's just spelling that's just, sorry, not spelling. That's just saying bad news for the whole company in general. The fact that they're $1 billion company and they can still get hacked, it blows my mind. Whether I have T-Mobile or not, I still think that's a very big concern. I don't think that should be happening in general, but it did, and there's nothing you can really do about it. You could do a lawsuit and leave the carrier, but that's pretty much what T-Mobile's doing with rural area in their investment of $25 million, and I think that's a good thing. Investing half of their money into this instead of just putting on the 5G. Yeah, they're improving other stuff as well, business and home internet. But I'm glad they're putting some percentage of this money into small town areas, because sooner or later, the small town areas have to have service of T-Mobile. The last thing T-Mobile wants to do is millions of customers through small town areas because their service didn't work or was lacking optimization and speeds. Let me know what you guys think about this with T-Mobile's plan on this. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.